Hey everyone, welcome back to Gastromania. Today, we're going to be sharing with you guys a very famous dish from the Sichuan province called Yuxiang Qie Zi. This dish is so popular that it's considered one of the most iconic Chinese dishes and can be found very easily in most Chinese restaurants all over the world. The best part about this dish is that the ingredients are easily found and the cooking time taken is rather short and simple. This makes this flavorful dish easily made at home and is one of my go-to dishes when I'm on a tight schedule. Without further ado, let's get right to this recipe. First, we will introduce the ingredients. The main and most important is the eggplants, or aubergine if you live in the UK. This is about 500 grams of eggplants. Next, we have the minced meat, about 150 grams of it. This meat is important to give the sauce a slightly meaty taste but not too much as it's not the main star of this dish. Next, we have a thumb-sized ginger and 2 cloves of garlic as aromatics. They are important to this dish as they contribute greatly to the flavour profile. Next, we have a fresh red chilli. This will add some colour as well as spiciness to this dish. If you want it to be spicier, swap it with bird's eye chilies. And lastly, about 4 to 5 bunches of spring onions. This will add some colour into this dish as garnish as well as provide some fragrance. Let's see how to prepare the ingredients. We first cut off the top of the eggplant. Before actually cutting them, we have to prepare an anti-oxidizing solution. This will prevent our eggplants from oxidizing and remain looking fresh until we cook it. Simply add about 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. Then top up with water such that it can submerge all the eggplants. Then we proceed to cut the eggplants into 4 to 5 cm sections. Then we cut each section to about 6 to 8 thinner sections. Do take note that the eggplants are buoyant, so you might need to use a heavy object like a plate to ensure that they are fully submerged. Next, we have to prepare the aromatics. For the ginger, we first cut them into small slices.
No.
Then afterwards, mince them really finely. And for the garlics, we remove the skin by smashing them against the chopping board. This makes the skin much more easily peeled. Afterwards, we also mince them, but it doesn't have to be as fine as ginger as they will char more easily. And for the red chilli, cut the lower part. Then, we will slice it into half and remove the seeds inside the chilli. This will remove the heat from inside and make it less spicy. Then, cut them into thin strips and lastly into fine pieces. The vibrant red will make this dish so much more colourful and appetizing with the spring onions contrasting it. For the spring onions, we will split it into the green and the white parts. Cut the green parts finely. This is called chonghua and will be used for garnishing after the dish is cooked. And the white parts will also be cut in the same way, except that it will be used to fry inside this dish during the cooking process. This is because the green parts will turn yellow if added during the cooking process. And these are all our prepared ingredients. Next, we will start to prepare our Yu Xiang sauce. First, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Do note that the authentic original recipe requires black vinegar like chinkang vinegar, but if you can't find it like me, you can also use white vinegar, it's also fine. 1 tablespoon of water. Mix everything evenly. And another seasoning that we'll need is the spicy broad bean paste. This is an essential ingredient for this dish and it cannot be omitted. Lastly, before hitting the stove, we will need to dry out the eggplants. Firstly, we will remove the water. Then, pat the eggplants on a kitchen towel to absorb the excess water. And one more tip, add about 1 tablespoon of cornstarch into the eggplants to absorb the excess water that you can't wipe off. And let's head over to the stove. First, heat up the oil at medium heat. Then add the eggplants into the oil and fry them for about 2 to 3 minutes. The aim here is not to fully cook them, but to use the frying to maintain the purple on the outside and keep it shiny, looking vibrant. Once they look something like that, the frying is done and we can remove it using a strainer. Strain off the excess oil and set them on paper towels to absorb the excess oil. Next, we fry the minced meat inside the same wok. Get them separated, and once they turn white and the fat renders, push the meat to one side of the wok. Then, add in the aromatics and fry them until they get fragrant. Once they get fragrant, mix them in with the minced pork. At this point, add about 1 tablespoon of spicy broad bean paste. Then we will fry the spicy broad bean paste or la doubanjiang until it becomes fragrant. Once fragrant, mix in with the meat. Then we will add in the prepared eggplants and mix everything together well. Once they are well mixed, add in the prepared sauce. Mix everything evenly and fry the sauce until it gets fragrant. At this point, taste the sauce and make sure that the sauce has the right taste to your preferences. I personally think that this could be spicier and saltier for me, so I'm going to add more spicy broad bean paste. And lastly, prepare some cornstarch solution to thicken up the sauce. Add it in steps until the desired consistency is achieved. Add in the whiter side of the spring onions and mix them well. And our Yuxiang eggplants are ready to be served. Garnish it with the green spring onions that we have prepared earlier. Doesn't it look super appetizing? It tastes spicy, savory, with a vinegary aftertaste. Definitely a dish that would get you asking for more bowls of rice. I absolutely love this dish, especially on busy days where I have to cook stuff fast. Try this dish today. And we have come to the end of this episode. What do you guys think about this recipe? If you enjoyed it, please support us by hitting the like button. Subscribe for weekly recipe videos like this. Follow us on Instagram to stay updated with our latest activities. And I'll catch you in my next video.